Hello, I'm Sarah from Worldwide Lawyers, and today I'm going to be talking about buying property in Portugal. So this will be helpful for anybody who is thinking about buying in Portugal or anyone who's just started the process. So anybody can buy a property in Portugal, although if you're a non-resident you will need to obtain a fiscal number before you can really move on with the process. So you can appoint a fiscal representative to obtain this for you, or if you prefer you can attend in person at the local tax office in Portugal to obtain this. You'll just need to take with you some identity documentation such as your passport, and you'll also need to provide them with a Portuguese address. So if you don't already have a Portuguese address, this can be the address of a friend or perhaps your lawyer in Portugal. It's just so that they have somewhere to send the fiscal card with the fiscal number to. And the next thing that you'll need to do is make sure that you instruct an independent lawyer in Portugal who has experience dealing with property law. It's important that your lawyer is entirely independent from the estate agent or developer, because you do need someone who is looking out for your interests only and to make sure that there's no conflict of interest with the estate agent or developer. Although it's not absolutely necessary to instruct a lawyer, as it's a notary that actually transacts the property, it is highly recommended, especially for anybody who's coming from overseas where they're dealing with a foreign legal system, unfamiliar legal processes, and also a foreign language. You really do need to make sure you've instructed a lawyer who is looking out for you in the transaction to make sure that everything does go smoothly and there are no problems. So once you have your lawyer in place and you have found your property and agreed the purchase price with the vendor, you'll be asked to sign an initial contract. Under this initial contract, the seller agrees to sell the property and the buyer agrees to buy it. So before you sign this contract and oblige yourself to purchase that property, you'll need to make sure that your lawyer has done all necessary checks on the property to make sure that it is something that you do want to buy and that you're happy to proceed with the transaction. After this has been signed, then some work will be done just obtaining a few necessary documents in relation to the property. Just for example, you will get a document from the fiscal department which sets out information about the size of the property, the boundaries, etc. And you just need to look at this to make sure that this does actually tally with what you've already seen. And you will also need to obtain confirmation from the sellers that they have satisfied any outstanding bills or taxes or charges in relation to the property. This is important because in Portugal, any outstanding bills or taxes or anything that's attached, that's relating to the property, attaches to the property itself and not the owners. So if you were to have the property transferred into your name with these outstanding, then those charges would then become your responsibility rather than that of the previous owner. So you do need to make sure that that's been obtained. The next stage then, really, once your lawyer's advised you of everything that you need to know and you're happy to proceed, then you would need to complete the sale. Now, the way this is done is that the local notary would draw up the completion deed, and everybody who is involved in the transaction would need to attend at the notary's office. So yourselves as the purchasers and also the sellers. That is unless they've appointed anybody to act on their behalf under a power of attorney. So if you're not able to attend in person, then you can get your lawyer to draw up a power of attorney for you to sign, which gives them the power to act on your behalf in relation to that and sign the documentation. If you would prefer to appear in person, then that's fine, but unless you speak fluent Portuguese, you will need to take your lawyer or a translator with you in any event. This is because the notary will read out the completion deed in front of all the parties, and unless they're completely satisfied that you understand the content of the document and your obligations under it, then they may refuse to complete the transaction. So it is important that you have someone with you who is fluent in Portuguese and can understand to you what's going on and what's required. So once the notary is happy that everything is in place and is happy to proceed to complete the property transaction, then everybody will sign the completion deed and the property will be transferred into the new owner's names. At this point, the remainder of the purchase price will need to be paid, as well as any taxes in relation to the property purchase. So once that's all done, then the property will be now be yours. But what you will have to do is make sure that you take an official copy of that completion deed to the land registry. The notary should give you an official copy of this, so you can take it to the land registry so that you can have the property officially registered in your name. So I hope that's been helpful for you, just a bit of a rough guide about how to purchase a property in Portugal. As touched on during this video, it is important that you do instruct a independent English-speaking lawyer to assist you. Should you have someone who's able to personally recommend a lawyer to you, then that's fantastic. If not, then worldwide lawyers are able to put you in touch with an English-speaking independent lawyer in Portugal who has experience dealing with people from the UK who are buying property in Portugal. So if we can help you with that, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. You can see the number on the board behind me, or full contact details are on www.worldwidelawyers.co.uk. Many thanks.